that are not here yet, or doing their own thing. So tonight is really all about my body transformation. So without sounding like total me, that's really not what this is about. This session this evening is about showing you what I did and my journey, talking to you about my journey from how I went from basically the one on my left-hand side to the one on the right-hand side, or this person in person. This is who you really see out here. And the whole discussion is about my story, what I achieved. I want to introduce you to Susan Francis from Abilities Weight Management that's here with us this evening. And I'm also going to give you a couple of tips and tricks that I've done to maintain this. And then I'm going to tell you about beautiful packages that I put together that you can be a part of. Okay, so to start off, my story, my name is Gerhard. I am a chef and a food professional, and I work in the food space, right? So I own a company called Food Inc., this one over here, and I do beautiful food experiences in people's homes. So obviously my contact with food and drink is a lot, okay? When I met Susan on the 20th of March, well, I met her a little bit before that because I'm part of BNI, which is a global networking community. And when I met Susan on the 20th of March, or started my program on 20th of March, I was 110 kilograms. I was much heavier than I am now. And I have, I was feeling tired. I was feeling sick. I was feeling demotivated. There's so many things that go with that when you're living in a body that is too big, and that is not healthy, and you're not feeding yourself with nutritious meals and nutritious food and so on. So what I then did is I started the program with Susan, and it completely changed who I am and what I am, and how I live on a daily basis. So I've always had a big love for food and nutrition and food education, but I was obviously not applying that into my body. So fast forward from the 20th of March to now, I am now I'm hovering between 84.5 and 85 kilograms. Okay, so it just really all depends on where my training is and a couple of elements that go with that. But I'm living in this body. This is my real body. Okay, this is not a suit. This is not anything. If you want to see a fuller version, go and have a look on social media. I'm live on Facebook, and you can see a fuller version of this. This is me. This is my real body. And this is what I look like. And what I've achieved in this space of living in this body is not only being able to enter a pageant, which I'm going to win, but I'm also entering opulent model competition, which I'm going to win. And, living in a healthy, beautiful body on a daily basis, confidence shot through the roof. Absolutely. My joy of life, I've never had a bad day. I've never had a depressed day since I really been on this program. And I used to go into some pretty bad spaces. Okay. So, just that and being in this space. And that's really why I came up with this program in this session, so that I can inspire you, wherever you are watching from, to also be this, okay? Because we're all our own version of what this could look like for us, right? So we've got some ladies here, we've got some people online watching that's also female, but your version of what this could potentially be. And that's really what I want to share with you this evening, tonight. I'm also going to have this on a recording. So for anybody that can't see this or that maybe can't join us right now, I'm going to forward this so that you can really kind of be inspired with this. Okay, so without further ado, I want to introduce you to one of the superstar ladies, heroes that came into my life. And I'm so honored that I've met you. And I'm so grateful for what you've done for me. So this went from trying to be a servant and help Susan and understand what her clients go through, And in return, I got this incredible gift of this new body and this new life. So, Susan, welcome this evening, guys. Again, if you're watching from Zoom, if you're watching from social media or from Facebook, please hop over to Zoom so you can also chat to Susan in person. So Susan, thank you for being here, and
thank you so much, Gerhard. It's a wonderful initiative.
Thank you. Thanks. So I just want to introduce yourself, and I really want you guys to hear what Susan's program is all about, because I've had so many questions where people have asked me, what do you do and what is this and it's best to just hear it from the horse's mouth. And what do you do and what is your program all about? And over to you.
Hey, thanks very much, Gerhard, and thanks for inviting me to this evening. So I think often when you're a chef, the proof is in the pudding. So when you make delicious food and people taste it, that is kind of how you get your name out there as being a really awesome chef. And when we met and you said to me, how do I find clients? Well, often my clients are my billboard. So I'll meet a client, like I met you, 110 kgs. You are kind of the medium client that I kind of have. I've got clients that go all the way up to 200 kilograms, and I've got clients that need to lose 5. So people always say, well, I don't know if it's possible for me. And the thing is, often with the marketing in my company, all I need to do is get a person to go through my program, and then wherever they go, people ask questions. And I think the transformation has got less to do with what you look like on the outside, but more with how it makes you feel on the inside. So we've all got a varied control or lack of control when it comes to food or alcohol. And there's a continuum, and each of us have got different things that could affect us. Some is environmental. You work in a company around food or alcohol. Other people, a lot of my clients are lawyers, so they work in a very stressful environment where there's a lot of conflict. So that could actually be why they're battling. Some of my clients are CEOs, so they travel a lot. So it's not that they don't want to eat the right food, it's that they don't always have access to the right food. You can't crack open an egg in a boardroom. So each of my clients is an individual with a unique set of environmental or physical or emotional stresses in their life. And those stresses change their eating behavior. And you can't really have a one size fits all. So as you know, we did data-driven dieting, which is I use an electronic scale, and I teach everybody what each of their particular data means. And then we look at food, which is what I think. I think we look at food, and I think that's why you have really got such amazing results, because a lot of the food education that I did with you already understood cooking processes. You already knew how to take really boring ingredients, as some of my clients tell me I have boring ingredients, but you knew how to take those ingredients and turn them into amazing nutritious dishes. So it was like a marriage made in heaven. You benefited from my skill in the behavioral weight management area, and I benefited because you could actually take my ingredients and turn them into really nutritious meals. So yeah, that's all about me.
Amazing. Yeah. So and I mean, it is so true. For those guys again on social media, if you've just logged on, I see that the viewership has gone up quite a bit. So we are busy talking to Susan Francis from Abilities Weight Management, and we are live on Zoom. So if you want to find the link, you can hop over here if you want a little bit of a Q&A session. But we're talking about my body transformation and how I went from being 110 kilogram food professional to this that you can see in person live, and what I did and so on. So we just chatted to Susan about what she stands for and how it works. But I want to touch with you on how the program actually works. So if you if you hop over to Susan's website and you have a look at what it's that, or what, you know, what's available. But talk to us about, you know, what is the program? What is this all about, really?
Okay, so I do medically assisted weight loss. So uh, I work with a medical doctor. He oversees everything that I do because I use a prescription medication, which is an injectable. It's completely safe. It, everybody can take it unless, of course, you're pregnant. Then, you know, I obviously get a full medical history from each person before they go on my program. And then I use data-driven dieting. So everybody gets to have a look at their visceral fats, their body fat, their protein, their muscle. And we talk about how they normally eat. So then I give them a balanced diet that they follow. But in the first month, they come and see me once a week for coaching, either online or face to face. That first coaching session is an hour and a half because I like to spend time with my clients, building rapport, understanding their unique environment. And then from there, they get given a plan that they need to follow. I've got a support group. So people then belong to a WhatsApp group. I've got several different groups, but I put you in with a crowd of people that I know you're going to get on well with. And then we just follow your progress. And then each week we make changes to the eating program, to the times that you eat. So I do an amalgamation of things. It's from the psychological, from the medically assisted, the behavioral. It's almost you can't really go wrong on my program if you attend coaching and you follow the paint by numbers that I give you as we go along.
And that is actually so easy. So I mean, I think initially what happens to all of us is that, and I think that was definitely my thing, is like we think that we need to consume so much food because that's how we were trained, right? And then you think like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to say no to this, and oh, I'm gonna have to say no to this, and oh, I don't know, and oh, I'm gonna have to give up alcohol. And I mean, that was one of my biggest things. So I thought that, you know, being someone that used to enjoy one, two, three, a bottle of wine easy for me, you know, to say I'm not going to have that as a part of my lifestyle anymore, that was scary for me, because I thought that I was going to change. And if your identity changes without, you know, you planning for it, you become very confused, you become very lost. And I really thought that that was going to happen. And if you just follow, and I think the joy with the program is that when you see the weight come off, that's amazing motivation for you on a daily basis. When you get onto the scale, and I'm going to talk about some of the tips and tricks and, you know, getting a scale and monitoring your progress, because that's so important. But when you then actually follow the program and it just happens and you end up, I mean, March, guys, March, it is now August, not even September yet. And I look like this. And, you know, it just falls off and falls off and falls off. And I know Andries that's on the chat with us, you know, we've been chatting, we've known each other for a very long time. And he's here this evening also, especially because he wants to see what this is all about, you know, and how this works and so on. So thanks for that. And if you want to put your website in the chat, if that's okay with you, guys, if you want to hop over to Susan's website, it is abilities weight management dot, let me just check. So abilities.co.za. So for guys on social media, www.abilities.co.za. Hop over to Susan's website and go and see what her package is all about, what it looks like. So Susan, thank you so much for again being here and for sharing this with us. So I want to give you a couple of tips and tricks what I did to keep me focused. Okay, so this is not about the food. Yes, I'm a food professional. Yes, I know how to cook food, and I'm so grateful for that, because steamed veg every night won't really work for me. So what I did is I looked at combination cooking methods where you can cook the food by using its natural juices and adding no fat and oil. Because unfortunately, in your first stage, oils and fats are really not something that you want to put into your body because you want to get rid of that, okay, while you're busy on the medication and working through your journey. So things that I did was I took food, I cooked it, and I changed the flavors for me to work for me. And in one of the packages that I offer, you actually get access to that with me. So you can get cooking sessions with me. One thing that I did, one of the tips is I planned. I really planned. I planned my meals in advance. I planned my day in advance. Because sometimes we get bowled over when life gets too busy. So if you're not drinking enough water on this diet, you will not drop the weight. If you do not plan properly and eat properly, you will not drop the weight. Okay. And again, I'm speaking from my own perspective because that's what worked for me. So if there was a social event happening over the weekend, I would absolutely plan for that. Okay. So something that became my best friend was this, which is Sprite, no sugar, guys. Yes. And that's something that I use. So if I go to a social event and I want to drink something, instead of using alcohol, I would drink a glass of that, you know. So plan, very, very, very important. What are you going to eat? When are you going to eat it? Is it going to be with you? And have it in your space. Otherwise, if it's not there, it's so easy to just go back to our normal routine, right? Track was the second one. So it's very important for me and my own personality to track where I am. Because my personal philosophy is if you know where you're going, it's okay. But if you don't know where you are, you don't know how to get there. And that's the problem. Okay. So if we don't have a direction of where we're going to move into, then where are we going? And we don't know where we are. Right. So for me, it was very important. So in my package, in my program, I've included the app, the tracker that I use to track my water, my calories, my food, my exercise, everything, my weight, so that I can see what it looks like. The other thing I did is I got a smart scale or a fancier scale that does not only measure your weight, but that actually tracks what's going on inside your body. So Susan has one that she recommends and suggests. If you want to put it in the chat, Susan, you can have a look at that. Otherwise, if you can find a smart scale, that's the one that I got. You get up in the morning, you have an app on your phone, and it shows you, is my water good? Is my protein good? What's happening inside my body? So that you can understand where you're moving to. So that's very important for you to track where you are. Then the other thing I did was I reviewed. So every 3 to 4 days, I would review by taking pictures of myself and of my body. So I was standing in the mirror. You know what? Visually, we don't see the visceral fat inside of our bodies, okay? We don't see how beautiful we become on the inside, but what we do see is how small we become on the outside. And if you can track that and see that, that's absolute motivation for you to just keep going, keep going, keep going. And before you know it, you're putting on pants that never fit, and all of a sudden you're wearing new clothes, right? So that's what happens in this process. The other thing that I did was I told everyone about what I'm busy doing. So some people feel very sensitive about that, and you can absolutely understand it, but it's where you are on your journey, right? But accountability is the best way to keep performing. That's what I believe, right? So you tell everybody that you trust that you're on this program. So number one, you can get support from the people that love you. And number two, they can hold you accountable. Because if that's not there, then it's easy to stop. And that's why we do, right? So those are just a couple of things that I used and still use to manage and track my performance. I'm very good with photos and selfies. I'm a little bit of a show off in that sense, but I do take a lot of pictures, and that's my way of tracking my performance and seeing that I, where I am, and do I look good and all that kind of stuff, and practicing for the camera anyway. So that's a couple of things that I've done. And then I quickly want to, so again, guys, if you're on social media, you want to pop over to Zoom, please do so. I'm also going to share this recording on social media for you guys that are maybe not here or sitting in load shedding. I really want you to watch this. So the idea for this evening is to tell my story to inspire you, because you can also go from having a larger body or body that you're not happy with to living in a body that you're proud of. Again, I'm very proud of the work that I've done. I'm very proud of all my beautiful muscles that I've created. So I quickly want to share screen with you guys that's online with me in Zoom, and I want to show you something that I put together, that I created, and you guys can absolutely just check this out. So I created 3 packages with all the inspiration that I've taken from Susan with my training program. So I spent a lot of money building this body, okay? And the only reason I spent so much money building this body is because I didn't, from the get-go, I didn't have the correct tools. So just to backtrack a little bit, in 2022, January 2022, I made a decision to start my body transformation. And the progress that I made in 1 year wasn't even close to the progress that I made from March to now. So I spent a lot of money in my first year on personal trainers, eating, supplements, plans, all that kind of stuff, because I didn't have the correct programs. And that cost me a lot of money, right? So what I've done for you is I've made all my mistakes that I've made, I put into a package, okay, so that you can get radical progress in a very short amount of time if you follow these programs that I've put together. So option 1 is you go directly to Susan. You say, Susan, I want you to help me. I need to lose some weight. Help me. Boom. She'll help you. She's amazing. She does incredible work. She will help you. Okay. Option number 2 is, gee, I want to be you, or I want to be my version of you. And then you can look at the 2 packages that's available here. So there's a male full body transformation package. Okay. There's also a female full body transformation package that I've put together for you guys. And I just quickly want to run through this so that you can see. Tomorrow night, I've got a wellness day, and I'm also promoting these packages live in person. Susan's unfortunately busy with another one. Otherwise, you would have been there also, right? So let's quickly have a look at these. So the male full body transformation package, there's a little bit of a write-up. What is included? So in this package, you get access to Susan for 1 month. Okay, that's Susan's absolute amazing 1 month abilities weight management starter pack. And that includes your onboarding, your weight management coaching sessions, your diet, your meal plan, your medication, everything you need in 1 month with Susan. That's what's one of the things included. You get a meal prep cooking session with me that's live like this in Zoom, where I will teach you how to cook the food that's on your meal plan. Okay, so that you don't die from boredom. Sorry, Susan. But, you know, that we can cook delicious and nutritious stuff. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay. Then I worked with 2 incredible personal trainers. My personal trainer, Laz, that's helped me create and sculpt this beautiful body. But also Anisha Kaywood, that's an incredible personal trainer. And she understands the female body. So I really worked with her in creating programs for you that you can either do at gym or you can do it at home. So depending on where you are and what space you are in, I have a program in here that is fit for that. And that's a program that you can do 3 times a day. That's also in line with your eating plan because of your calorie intake. So we don't want to exhaust you, but we do want you to drop the weight and sculpt the body while you're busy doing this. Okay. Then there's a 30-day manifestation guided meditation. Okay, so this is not airy fairy woo. No, it's not that. It is a meditation from Doxies, and it's a meditation that I've used for a very long time that helped me to get focused and to set one goal for 30 days. And you meditate on that on a daily basis. And when your 30 days are over, you have reached your goal because you visualize, you absolutely live your vision of what it looks like. So that's included in there for you, which is incredible. Then we've got the fitness tracker, an app that I used, that I share with you. I show you what it looks like. and we also run through the app and how it works and how you can track everything. And then not only are you getting a support group with Susan, you're also getting a support group with me. I put you on the group and we talk to you on a daily basis, share food tips. If you have questions, how are you feeling? What's happening? Where are you? So that is all included in this full body transformation package. Okay. When you order the Zoom links for the cooking sessions, the recipe packs, information, everything is sent to you. Your details are then sent to Susan, and you guys can get in touch and you can start your journey. Okay, so there's two, like I said earlier, there's the body transformation for men, and then there's the body transformation for the ladies, okay, which is a special program from a female personal trainer too, because she understands your body well and how you need to move and what you need to do. Then if you don't want Susan and you don't want the full body transformation and you just want to eat delicious and nutritious food that serve your body, you can book the Everyday Easy and Delicious Meal Prep. And this program or this course is a live cooking session. And I quickly just want to go on my details. I don't know what's going there. Sorry, guys. Let's just do this. Okay, it doesn't want to activate now. There we go. What's there? Anyway, go and check it out. We'll go and check it out. It is available online. But basically what that is, you get a recipe book with all the recipes that you can do for your meal prep. Okay. Then you've got a live session. So the next live cooking session is the 4th of September, and it's going to be from 6 o'clock, and it's a 90-minute session. So we run through all the recipes. I do a couple of food demonstrations. I show you exactly what you need to do your meal prep. And it's snacks, it's some breakfast stuff. There will be some lunch things in there. And it's really food that you can make, put it in containers, put it in the freezer, so that at least you know what goes into your food. Okay, because that's very important. Nutritious, delicious food, but know what is in your food so that you can control that. Okay, so those are the 3 packages that we've got available. If you want to book any of them, you are more than welcome to. They're available on my website, so you can have a look at those. Okay. Do we have any questions? Do anybody in the room, do you have any questions? Do you want to ask us anything? We went quite quickly. So I want to give you guys a couple of minutes with Susan. If you have any questions, if anybody wants to ask any questions, you can unmute yourself. Let me know. And then if not, it's a very quick session for you guys. So yeah, let us know. Any questions? Any questions?
I think you can also type questions if you embarrassed to go straight out and ask. I can give you general answers. Stella.
Yes, thank you for this session, Gerhard and Susan. So for Susan, I want to ask, what tips can you give people like me that is like emotional eaters? You know, when you're very stressed. Some people, when they're very stressed, they can't eat. Other people go for food.
Yeah.
So I think everyone is an emotional eater, some more than others, but everyone is an emotional eater. And I often tell my clients it's better to be an emotional eater than an emotional drinker, because you don't go home and beat your wife and your kids because you had a Mars bar, you know.
Yeah.
But all of us will crave sugar when we are stressed. So and there's also a time of day that we emotionally eat. You don't really emotionally eat at 10 o'clock when you're busy with clients. That's not emotional eating. Emotional eating normally happens later at night. So you do the whole day, and because you're busy and you're with clients and things, all that information and all those problems, load shedding, the country's falling apart, the finances, you know, the receiver of revenue, whatever it is that keeps you awake at night, you don't think about that at 10 o'clock in the morning. You have dinner. If you live alone, when you finally have closed your laptop and, you know, the movie's finished on Netflix, then the problems start to come up. And if you speak to an alcoholic, that's also the time that somebody would open a bottle of whiskey or have a glass of wine. And it's not a mistake. I mean, it's not like you're weird, because that's what all people do. It's that time of the day where finally you've put the day aside, and now you've got time to worry about you and your problems. So a lot of the tips I give people is to, depending, I can't give generalized advice now because I haven't got everybody's medical problems in front of me, and I don't understand the medications they're on and when they need to eat and why they need to eat. But often in those times, I save food from my calorie count for later on in the day. So if at 8 o'clock I get the munchies, I don't go and grab bad food. But at that stage, and I'm going to say celery because I know it's going to annoy everyone. But then you go and eat your celery, or you have a cup of soup, or you eat 3 Provita, or whatever it is that we've decided in your diet that's going to be your fallback food. I like to use the word mastication because it makes everyone get excited. But that's that chewing, that you get when you bite into celery. Yes, it's water, but because your mouth is moving, you feel like you're actually physically eating something. And that can send a signal to your brain that I'm actually getting sustenance. Because a lot of the time it's about the chewing more than it is anything else. So oral fixations. So people grab for a cigarette, grab for a bottle, grab for anything that they can do with their mouth to try and take away the pain. So we found foods, we found ways to distract yourself. So are you drinking water or are you drinking wine? Anyone can have a bottle of wine, but first have a liter of water and see if you still want the wine. So I've got lots of things that I teach everyone, and we talk about strategies in a coaching session that work for you, because not every strategy is going to work. Not everybody is going to do the diet as well as Gerhard did, because Gerhard has a better understanding of food. So his course on food preparation is going to help you, because these are things that inherently he knew before coming on my program. But they're things that maybe some people need to learn, you know. So it's all a learning process, learning what foods to have. And then I think it's also important to understand the medication. So the reason I work with the doctor is because I don't know all the, you know, I might have the psychology and the awareness around nutrition, but sometimes there are blood pressure medications or anxiety medications, or people take different antidepressants. Those are sometimes things that I actually have to consult the doctor and say to him, I've got a particular client with a particular medical problem. How do we deal with that? Gerhard, without taking away from your thunder, men lose faster than women. So when women see Gerhard losing weight so quickly, they go, you know, he is brilliant, and he is brilliant. And if I put him against a lot of other of my male clients, he performed the same as a lot of the male clients. But women are different. You know, if you're menopausal, if you're perimenopausal, when you're having your cycle, those things all have a major impact on food and eating. So yes, male transformation is always going to be easier. But then if you speak to somebody 20 years older than Gerhard and they're losing testosterone, then they start getting depressed and they start losing lean muscle. And then, you know, 100%, they need to go to one of either Gerhard's personal trainers or find a personal trainer that will work with them. Yeah. To try and maintain protein, to build lean muscle. And also sometimes they need a medical intervention where they need to have their testosterone tested.
mm, mm. No, so
Sorry, that's a long answer.
no, but I think it is so true, hey, and I mean, it is so true what you say, with males. So I'm so grateful that men lose faster than women, because otherwise I wouldn't, be looking this great. So thank goodness for that. But I think what's also valuable for me with working with you, if you are a lady or if you are an older gentleman, is that you understand the hormones that go with this. So it's not only, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose the weight. That's not what it's about. You really understand in depth and what it is and how it works. And I think that's also why I'm so grateful for working with you, because it's not just a quick fix. You really take this very seriously, and what you need to eat and how you need to treat your body. And I'm so grateful for that. So for Arena that joined, also I saw she was on social media and she popped over here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very happy to send you this recording a little bit later, and you can watch from the beginning. But the whole thing, the whole evening so far was just been about me telling my story, what I achieved. Susan's chatted about the program and how the program works. I've given a couple of tips and tricks, and then there's also some packages available online that you can check out. So if you go to foodingchef.co.za, and I know you've been on my website, and you click on the courses tab, we open we've loaded a couple of courses that you can have a look at. Any other questions? Did that answer your question, Stella, about the emotional eating? And
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, Susan.
I've got a question for you, Susan, because so my first two, so what happened when I started my journey, my program? The first day I did a date night experience, and I did the 6-course tasting with the wine pairing. Then the second night, I had a dinner for 20 people, and it was a sensory dining experience. Okay, so I was surrounded by food and smell, and I took my chef with Clayton, and I said to him, I'm not eating anything. I'm not touching anything. I'm not tasting anything. You do this, because otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen to me. So I drank in my first week. I drank more water than I should have, because I was so hungry all the time. But what I also did, so I drank about 5 liters of water a day, which I know is a lot. To us, it now sounds like a lot. But I took a 2-liter of soda water. So if I was really hungry and I felt like I'm going to faint, I drank soda water. Is that a good thing to add? Does it make you fuller? I know some people say it makes you constipated. What's your view on that?
So you can wash out electrolytes in the body if you have too much water. 5 liters is a little bit too much.
I was hungry all the time.
Yeah, no, and water is better, but I mean, like I remember when we were younger, we used to play those drinking games, but with water, and you can have too much water. But I think why I stress water so much is because I've made you and a lot of my clients aware of how much you need to drink a day to actually stay hydrated. But some people have 5 cups of coffee in a day, and coffee is a diuretic. So I'm not saying coffee is bad. What I'm saying is when you are drinking coffee, it is a diuretic. So you're losing water. So you have to replace it. The Italians don't give you an espresso with a big glass of water next to it for fun. They do it so that you can replace the water that you're losing because of the caffeine. So these are all things that we learn in coaching, but water is a good way to fill you up, because a lot of us eat when we're actually thirsty. You know, and I say it's behavioral weight management, because when you look at an animal, if you leave your cat's food there all day, your cat will eat food the whole day. And if you don't give your cat water, your cat will come and ask you, I'm dying of thirst, for those of you that talk to their pets. But humans are exactly the same, except we're able to squash our feelings. So we'll be thirsty and we'll think, I can't right now, I've got a meeting. I can't right now, I'm going to be in the car for an hour. I can't right now because I'm standing in front of an audience. I can't be sipping my drink. So we'll stop those feelings when we should actually encourage it. So I think the water drinking is part of my coaching program, because it is very important not only to have your water, but to have your sleep, to manage stress. I mean, you know, there's not just one tick box. As you know, it's a whole thing about how you're going to manage your stress, your meal prep, where you're going to buy your ingredients, who is your, you said your support group. You made yourself accountable to all your friends. I mean, when I was in corporate, I made myself accountable to the sandwich lady. And like I went to her and I said to her, at the end of the month, if you don't sell me any toasted sandwiches, I'll give you 100 rand. But you just sell me one and you get nothing.
Yeah.
Because I needed to put roadblocks in place to help me manage my behavior. And that's how, with behavioral psychology, I learned that we actually have to make ourselves accountable, not only in your weight loss program, but in saving money, in business. I mean, we're all accountable to all the people around us all the time. So if you want to achieve a goal, you've got to be accountable.
So, and that's so true. And I mean, it's really what you say is like, if you can control what you eat, you can control so many other things. I mean, I've just seen in these last couple of months that, you know, I from my journey with you, it taught me how to apply yourself with the correct tools, and then doing just a little bit every day, but being consistent in that, you can achieve, you know, so much at the end. And I've really started implementing that in so many other aspects of my life and in my business and so on, you know. And I've always been a absolute go-getter and very driven when it comes to business, and very passionate about it because, you know, it's my life. But, you know, also just putting some things in place and being brave. You know, sometimes you have to put yourself out there and you just have to be brave. Like this tonight, it's being brave. It's putting myself in front of a screen, in front of you guys of social media and saying, you know what, I'm telling you my story. And this is how I did it, and maybe it can help you. Sometimes you have to be brave and do it, and then the rest kind of comes along. So,
and can I ask you a
yeah.
quick question, Gerhard? Because, and I'm not going to share anything too personal, so you can relax. But I remember in our first coaching session, when you thought that there was some psychology and there was some coaching, and you at that stage were quite guarded because you were kind of using your weight as here's me and here's my body, and then you're on the other side.
Yeah.
So I think that mindset from the first time you came to see me and you didn't really believe that it was possible to where you're standing now, the growth has not really been so much about the weight. It's been more about you were more concerned at how deep we were going to go into your psyche to get you to get that body, whereas it was just about making small changes every single day that eventually results in this amazing like transformation, as you say. And most people don't start because they're scared of the first coaching session, standing on the scale the first time at a dinner party without alcohol. Maybe they've got social anxiety. So it's all those little things that you had to overcome that brought you this way. It wasn't like one morning you woke up and you were skinny and loved your body. It was small changes that you made every single day. And I think the reason you feel so good is because you've had more sleep, you're hydrated, you're putting good things in your body. If you see anybody in a meeting at 2:00 in the afternoon after lunch, you know what carbohydrates can do in excess and sugar can do. They're all yawning, they're all tired, no one's concentrating, they're not performing. And then I see you 5:00 in the morning in a meeting. And
yeah. Yeah, like this morning, I mean, at 5:00 in the gym, I was having a spin session this morning, and at 10:00 I was back seeing my personal trainer, you know, that kind of stuff. I've got more energy, but it's absolutely true what you said. So in all honesty, the first time I saw you was really from a place in my heart where I said, you know what, I've been looking for a health professional, someone in the health and fitness space to work with, because I really have such a great need to help people, or that's my thing, right? So I really thought that, okay, I really wanted, my first session was I wanted to sign up with Susan so that I can understand what her clients go through and that I can help them. So maybe it was a little bit selfish also, because yeah, I could get some cooking lessons and make money and all that kind of stuff. And after our third session together, or after the third week of me being on this program, that decision that I made changed. And I tapped into something much deeper that I hid away for a very long time, because I didn't think and I didn't believe that it was possible to look like that when I was in that space. I didn't believe it. And I mean, I had tried so many things and, always been in gym and stuff, but I was self-sabotaging because I didn't understand. And again, I didn't have the tools to do the work properly. It wasn't that I wasn't doing the work. I was going to gym. I was, but in 1 year, I went from.
But you can't cook in the kitchen without the proper ingredients or without the proper appliances.
Yeah. So the first year I went, like my first year that I was really, when I made this commitment and stuff without the tools, I was doing 117, 110, 19, 110, 15, 18, so it was constantly this, but nothing drastic was happening. And then you wake up and you feel demotivated and you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? And then I stopped believing that I could do this. I mean, I looked at my goal and my vision boards of 3-4 years ago. And you know what? One of my to-do lists were, one of my bucket lists was that I want to enter a pageant. I didn't believe that it was possible for me in January. I didn't believe that I could look like this. I didn't believe that I could have this body. And I tell you what, I didn't sign up for a pageant. They contacted me and they asked me if I wanted to enter. That's how this works, right?
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
The underwear brand ambassadors contacted me and asked me if I would be able to do work with them. That's how this has changed for me. And yeah, it's a completely different mindset of where I am now to where I used to be. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about this and want to share this with everybody. I want to share this with you guys on social media, is you can be this. You can.
Everybody can have their ideal. Everybody can have their ideal life. It's not only ideal body or ideal bank account or ideal job. You can actually have it if you put your mind to it and you take the right steps. And sometimes you do need to go to a professional, whether it's a psychologist to sort out your stuff, or a weight loss coach to guide you with weight loss, or a personal trainer to help you with your body. Yeah. Sometimes there's a need. With me, it's always I have to go to my accountant because my maths is not so great. Oh.
So, but I mean, anyway, on that note, again, we've got like a couple of minutes left. If you guys want to reach out to Susan directly, please visit her website. Go and chat to her. If you want to talk to me, please, you're so welcome to get in touch with me. I'm going to share this recording on social media. I'm going to share it on Facebook. And what I want you guys to do that are here is please share this. Let's send this message out as far and as wide as possible. Everybody on social media, thanks for watching. I know I normally get a lot of views after, people are relaxed and a little bit later on and so on. But guys, really, you can be the best version of yourself that you can be if you choose to. And if you want help along the way, we are here to help you. So log on to the website, foodingchef.co.za, click on the courses tab, and you can see if you want any of those packages. Otherwise, get in touch with Susan directly and start your own body transformation journey. Okay, I'm going to be live tomorrow at the Viva Gym at Hillfox. If any of you want to pop in and say hello and come and see what's on offer. Susan, amazing. Thank you so much for
taking time. Thank you so much for this evening.
Thanks for everybody joining us, everybody joining.
And I'm going to be at the Viva in 4 ways, if anyone wants to come and chat to me.
Yes, so Susan's also going to be at the Viva in 4 ways. If you guys are watching on social media, Viva in 4 ways. They've got their wellness day. And it's from 3 till 6. Am I right?
Yes.
3 till 6 o'clock, go and chat to Susan if you want to see her in person. Guys, thank you so much for joining tonight, for taking some time, for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Susan, thank you. I honor you for just being such an incredible human being. And thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Drink lots of water and eat healthy food.
Thanks,
Susan
Gerhard.
and Gerhard.
Have a good
Bye.
evening.
Hey,
Cheers.
guys.